No. Hello, everyone. Carlos here. Sorry for the delay. We were just finalizing some last-minute details of what's going to happen today. But basically, I have here my Gunny, EVILGUNNEY, and Rin Michaelis, which I always enjoy talking to both of you guys. We're going to talk about basically the aftermath of last week's election in the United States and other stuff. Not just that, because there's also which as relevant to those things as we are. So we're going to start off with Trump won the election. The regressive left through the tiffy. They just basically not my president and so. And it's predictable. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the left drew a fits. I mean, me and my mom, we got along great about it because my mom's a Hillary supporter and she voted Hillary. And that my mom's pretty much the only Hillary supporter I could get along with. But for other people, they were like, we should remove the electoral college and it wants the popular votes to make all of the decisions. The problem with that is that it's kind of like, what about the farmers and people in the Midlands? You know, it's kind of like I'm worried that the people in the bigger city. People from the bigger cities in California and people in the bigger cities in New York would win all of the votes and would decide each and every president. Even the person I was arguing with would say that the Democrats have won the popular votes 7 times. Well, I mean, if the Democrats are the only people that could decide presidents, then isn't that kind of sort of close to what's going on in Korea, where it's kind of like no matter how you vote, the same people will be in office? It's kind of like, I don't want that. I like how in America we have options. And I don't think that the popular votes is always the correct votes. Because, I mean, Carlos, you could correct me on this because you probably know more about this than I do. But wasn't the Nazi Party popular in Germany at the time? So it's kind of
well, after World War I, and more specifically after the Great Depression in 1929, the German economy just went to shit, and there were communists who were getting into power. We had in Belgium Rosa Luxemburg. You had in Germany some right-wing groups and left-wing groups that were fighting, and basically in 1933, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, the Chancellor basically handed, after some, everyone knows what happened, the Kristallnacht, where the brown shirts burnt down the Bundestag, etc. They basically, to avoid chaos, the Kaiser handed power to Hitler, basically, even though he was not really legitimately voted in. If I'm totally wrong on this, so if anyone in the chat wants to correct me, it's
well, Hindenburg was threatened and blackmailed by Hitler to take over his territory, right? They were going to kill. They were going to kill him. Like, if he didn't go along with them, they were going to kill him. I mean, once Hindenburg gave up.
Because he was such a popular. If there was even a minimum chance of an assassination attempt, they would have blamed Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. And no, I think it was another way that they persuaded him, because he was fucking almost senile, from what I've heard in some of these stories.
Oh yeah, he was 87 years old or some fucking thing like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah. But after these elections in the United, my point of view as an outsider, the Electoral College was set up. I don't know when was it set up. When was it set up?
1860. 1860.
Okay, 1860. And that was a mechanism to stop, again, to reinforce the non-concentration of power into any group. That's how I see it. Yeah. That's how I see it. Because, of course, the rural areas would have had much, much less population and power than the built-up areas and the cities and so on. So to have a level playing field, that's the Electoral College was established.
Yeah. Well, did you see who most of Trump's the confirmed appointees that he's got? Did you see they're all from they're from Iowa and Indiana and New Mexico and shit like this, right? They're all centrist. They're not on the west or the east coast where all the liberals hang out, right? Right now is what's happening in America is the center of America. The fucking heartland of America, the wheat farmers, the guys that go up and go to fucking work every day, not going to college on the coast and ranting in the streets about fucking my feelings and my pronouns and shit like this. The American people have just had it. They've fucking had it with that shit, right? And the left is they're crying that middle America, Central America is taking America away from them. They're negating their relativity.
I would even add the working class people.
That's what I mean.
Taken back America, yeah, because you also have working class in cities, etc. Because
but they never get
smaller.
Yeah, they never get heard of because there's a bunch of fucking 20-year-old babies on the street crying my feelings all the fucking time.
Yes, there are some even adults crying because I was talking to adults about the Electoral College, and they're like, no, the popular vote should always like then it's kind of like California and New York would pretty much decide every president. And I was like, I've got a better idea, a much better idea. How about we have Clexit, where we remove California out of the United States. Yeah. The United States could just separate from California, and the rest of America could decide which we have for president, and you just will be left out of all decisions. And you know what? We get to keep the coal because it's kind of like the concentration of coal, and it's pretty much more to the Midlands. Like there is no coal miners in California. Not that I've seen it in any map, and it's kind of a lot like it's kind of like people from California, New York. They do depend on people from the Midlands for things. It's not fair for them to have all the power to have presidents and who's not. Not to mention that people from these cities, they tend to be from the far left, They tend to accept social justice more. Because whenever I try to talk to Hillary Clinton supporters,
there's no more social justice, by the way, Ren.
They accept feminism. They heavily support or agree with social justice. And, from the outside looking in, and I keep trying to express this to them, from the outside looking, social justice is crazy. CNN itself says that math is racist. This is CNN. They are a long-established news network. This isn't some new random blog. This is CNN saying math is racist. And it's kind of like the left is becoming more and more unhinged. We don't want crazy city dwellers to decide who's the president each and every time.
With this whole CNN thing, on numbers and stuff like this, I pointed this out to a couple people. Okay, Obama's been in for 8 years. Okay, the per annum for the president of the United States is $400,000 a year. In 8 years, that works out to $2.2 million minus taxes. Okay, when the Obamas took office, they were worth $900,000. In 2015, they were worth $14 million. Mrs. Obama is the stay-at-home White House president. Her mother babysit the children, taxpayers' dime, $193,000 a year, now getting a lifetime pension, $160,000 a year. How does say 1.5 million added to 900,000 equal 14 million. That's why they push Common Core math. That's why they love Common Core math, right? And I was called racist for bringing up
sales. Book sales.
Well, no, Obama. No. Yeah,
I'm only joking, man.
Yeah, I don't speeches or whatever, but how does that mathematics work out to anybody's fucking knowledge? I mean, they both had to turn in their law license due to ethics charge. They didn't want to be charged. They either gave them up or they were going to be charged with ethics charges. What's her name? Michelle was going to be charged with extortion of a charity. Okay.
Wow, that's normal, man. God, we have our extortions and our normal. Well, it's not very political, but we have that here in our society, and it is frowned upon. And when they catch them, they do fuck them up. But as long as if they're not caught, well, you know, they're not killing people. Well, some have, but we're not killing people here. And see what I mean? Coming back to the comment, the Electoral College and the popular vote. Where do they still have popular vote? In Portugal, we don't have a popular vote. We have proportional vote.
Yeah, well, that's what an Electoral College is, right?
Exactly.
You know,
and by the way, it's even a fucking German system. I can't remember the fucking name, Danke or whatever it is, which everyone votes, and then the other parties that you voted for that aren't representative, they are equally distributed to the others.
Hold it a second here, and this is a fallacy that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote to begin with. Like, you'd think that if Hillary Clinton was within supposedly the 300,000 votes that she was, she wouldn't call for a recount. She didn't go because the Democratic Party told her, don't push the fucking we're gonna detest electoral rules, or you're going to lay bare all the election fraud that the DNC does. They're saying right now,
I don't know.
They looked in. Okay, they're saying right now that there was over 3 million illegal votes for the Democratic Party. You take those 3 million votes away, Hillary didn't get the fucking popular vote at all.
That, the official. Where the fuck do you guys have we have here in Portugal an official independent tallier of votes. The Electoral Commission, they are totally independent, unpartisan at all, non-partisan.
There's not that here though, Carlos. There's not. You have the two sides. You have the left against the right. Yeah, but so you have to like what I do. Okay, like when I look at a news story, I go to Alex Jones, and then I go to a TYT, and then I kind of fall in the middle. You know I don't. I look at both. One extreme to the E.
Both of them, I laugh at both of them, and then go to a news outlet in Tahiti. Probably give me a more non-partisan news. See what I mean? Shit. I'm used to corrupt media here in Portugal. I'm not surprised with the Americans. I've been saying this since the early mid-90s when I first even saw this site. It's called farc.com. I'm advertising, so fuck you, I'm not going to advertise anymore. They just show, there's sort of a news aggregate which they show all the most stupid shit you can imagine. They have in categories. I don't follow them anymore, but I saw how the media has been putting on narratives to further their cause. And we will cover that a bit later on, so we won't go into the media how it does. That's just a preview. But yeah, we'll just cover how the media coverage has been a bit generally, because we'll discuss it later on, a bit generally one-sided. And it's been shown. By the way, caveat people in the chat and everyone that's going to listen to this, I don't like Trump. I don't like Hillary either, in the exact same amount. I hate them both. I've always said this. Of the 330 million people America has, you had to pick those two? Wasn't there anyone else?
Well, shit, you could have gotten nobody else.
God, you could have gotten Elon Musk against I don't know, Bill Gates. For fuck's sake.
Elon Musk is a fucking
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean, yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Someone has to be... Okay, I know who. PZ Myers for the Democrats. And, God, help me here. Someone is funny and equally stupid on the left, on the right. The biggest cuck in the left that there is.
Oh God, what's that guy's name? Give me a second here, Carlos.
God, someone is stupid. Why not those two? For fuck's sake, that wouldn't be any worse.
Oh, they could have run Billy Graham Jr.
Oh, why not? Fuck, I don't know who the fuck he is, but I hope he's not bigot. But yeah,
you don't know who Billy Graham is? The biggest evangelist of all fucking times.
Oh God, no, not him. Fuck no. Oh God, you can imagine me now doing that Steve Carell gif. No, God, no, God. Yeah, I love that gif, by the way. But yeah, it's fucking. I hope this is a sort of a wake up call. From the American politics to go slightly to go fucking center. We need the traditional conservative party on the right, not the fucking extreme right. Conservative rightists, they're more or less center, and also another one on the left to balance each other.
But Carlos, you got to remember that for the last 50 years, Donald Trump has voted Democrat. He was a Democrat. He supported Hillary. So if you're going to like a centrist,
I've been saying this in every fucking stream I've been on.
I know, but
he's a fucking Democrat.
How doesn't that make him a centrist when he's on a fucking Republican Party? If you're a Republican with a Democratic background, I'd say that was a centrist fucking program.
Yeah, but he is. And I don't know, who has he officially appointed? I want to know. I don't know who
Sessions.
He is.
Okay, Jeff Sessions, Attorney General. Okay. General James Mattis as Secretary of Defense. Pompey is he's a Republican senator. He's going to be in charge of the CIA, and Jeff Sessions is going to be Jeff Sessions is going to be the AG. Those are the only confirmed fucking people he's
three. That's three of the cabinet. Only three.
Yeah.
There's been names running around. I know the chief of staff is going to be the ex-Breitbart Bannon. Is Bannon?
Yeah.
They've been fucking... God, everyone's seen that... what's her name? That stupid British reporter that interviewed Milo. Milo absolutely creamed her. And there's been memes. Crowd T has been making memes of her.
Not sure.
God. Anyone in the chat?
I haven't had Twitter. I haven't had Twitter since the night of the election. So
exactly. God. Basically, Breitbart. He's the former Breitbart editor.
Bannon.
Yeah, Bannon. Steve Bannon.
Yeah,
Steve Bannon. Yeah.
The mainstream media has been pushing him out. Oh, he's racist, he's this and that. And this British journalist, interviewed Milo Yiannopoulos and said, "Oh, look at these headlines. Isn't it extreme?" And Milo said, "No, Bannon didn't say that. I said those." Oh, but what? Yeah.
But Carlos, you got to also remember that even as much animosity as there is between Ben Shapiro and Steve Bannon, Ben Shapiro says that anybody calling Steve Bannon an anti-Semite is a fucking retard.
Exactly.
Two-thirds of the staff at Breitbart are fucking Jews.
Jews.
Okay.
Yes. That's what Milo said.
Yeah.
I didn't know Milo was a Jew. Isn't Milo Catholic Greek? I don't fucking know what Milo is.
Oh, I don't know. His
name is Greek. His name is Greek.
Yeah, he's a tremendous faggot.
Oh, he's fucking awesome. He's an entertainer galore. I would love to have him as this press secretary.
That's what I was just going to say. That's what
I was the first one to say it. I'm on record. As soon as Trump won, the next day, I said, I hope Milo's press secretary. I have my tweet. I've been anyone who says, no, I'm the first, no, mate, I was first.
Well, you got to remember that the way it happens over here, Carlos, is as soon as a president-elect gets elected and he starts releasing cabinet positions just like this, everybody that in the Republican Party that wants a cabinet position floats a news article. Oh yeah, he's considering me, which is total bullshit, because you look at like Bolton kept saying that he was going to be Secretary of State or Minister of Defense and all that, and Trump basically went up there and said, "Are you fucking kidding? Like, are you nuts? Like, you've never seen a war you didn't fucking like, right?" Yeah. Trump is not going to be about wars. He's not.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I know how it works. It works the same here. The appointees and that.
Trump called for. He said that if when he takes office, he said he wants to see Nigel Farage as the ambassador to the United States. Right.
And what was the British?
They're all screaming another race, all racist and blah 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 blah.
No, officially, the cabinet, the British government said no. There's no vacancy for that.
Yeah. Well, the EU, Juncker. I think it was just after. I think it was just after he won the election that he said that if the UK government does business with the United States outside of the EU single market, that they will be punished.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Fuck Junkers, he's fucked. Anyway.
Well, he's a fucking crazy fuck. I like he's crazier than that old guy that the guy with the glasses.
We can continue. We can continue this narrative before we get on to another one. Yes, the EU. This does tie into the American politics.
Right.
Yes, what you said about the Junkers and the EU and Merkel, especially Merkel. She's been flipping now to have some quotas, etc., cutting down the migrants, sending them back, stopping them from reaching Europe, etc. But to me, the people aren't stupid. It's too little, too late. She should have thought about that last year. Yeah.
Well, did you see what CNN said about Merkel? Said that the president of the United States is no longer the leader of the free world. It's now Angela Merkel.
Yeah,
that's what CNN put out.
Till next year, till next year when she's voted out. Her party's fourth at the moment, I think.
We should be bombing them just for saying that. Yeah, you're the leader of the free world.
Don't waste perfectly good bombs on a fucking regressive cunt that Merkel is. Jesus Christ.
No, I wanted to bomb CNN.
Just turn off the electricity. It's cheaper and it's quicker.
Yeah.
But there are a couple of things which are sort of flying under the media radar until it'll be too late. This month, there's going to be a very, very, very important plebiscite, a referendum in Italy. In Italy.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
There's not a lot of coverage, but the Italian
Prime Minister, they don't want that information getting out, Carlos, because it's an idea is like an infection. Once it takes hold, it's hard to kill.
Yeah.
Right, but I'll just say this and then let Rin speak, because we've been hogging her and it's not good manners. That referendum is supposedly to modify the Italian voting system, which they have two types of systems, one for the prime minister and one for the presidency or some other thing, and they want to make it equal. The polling stations accurately saying that no, this is accurate. They are going to lose, and lose or win, it's going to be bad, because if they lose, the prime minister will resign, forcing into a constitutional crisis in Italy, and they will have to force a vote, but on the laws, etc., which will be another referendum to approve them. It's going to be a fucking mess, and that could lead to Italy leaving the European Union.
I thought that's what the referendum was about.
Not exactly. It's indirectly about that. It's not directly. If they don't approve them, it is a sort of a leave, which is fucking awesome. I'm totally for every country to leave the EU.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, Oh yeah, exactly, Carlos. They would. Carlos in the chat says Italy would vote to leave tomorrow. Of course they would. And then next year we have the French elections, the German elections.
That's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, those three.
Yeah.
It's kind of Merkel's fucked. No matter what she does, she's third or fourth in the polls. The first one is the Conservatives, the other group, the one that she's coalitioned with. Then there's the AFD or IDF, whatever they're called, Advanced for Deutschland or something like that. Where they're polling even higher, they're gaining favoritism. And then there's the Socialists or something. And then it's her party, the Christian Democrats. They're fucked. She's fucked. She's no way she's going to win at all. I would love a coalition between the Conservatives and the AFD or whatever, IDF, whatever, to bring back borders outside of the European Union. Anyone comes here, we send them back, and then we can process them out there, not here. If you leave your war-torn country and to a safe area which you're not beaten, you stay there until your fucking war's over. Then you piss off back to your country.
Yeah. You're not coming here just to take because you're like Ben Shapiro describes them. You're a fucking economic migrant. You're not a fucking, you're not a fucking refugee. You're an economic migrant, because the second you step across your border into a country that's not at war with you, then you're a refugee and you stay there. Yes. That's the law, right?
Yes. As soon as you leave the first port that you land, which is a safe country, you're no longer a refugee. You're a migrant. That's simple as that. Fuck that. Yeah. No. And Merkel's been asking for the ships that pick up survivors in the fucking. They are picking them up in view of the Libyan coast. Yeah. They're taking them back to Italy. No, take them to the first Libyan port, drop them off there, and say, "Nope, you're safe now."
Well, go back. I like Australia's thing. If you enter the country illegally, you're caught, you're deported, and you're never allowed entry into the country again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that idea, but it's just kind of like I tried to. A Hillary supporter, and she also agrees, or he also agrees with social justice. And they were talking about how Mexicans are so racist to other Mexicans for entering this country the wrong way. And it's kind of like for Mexicans to come here legally are racist against Mexicans who came here illegally. And it's like, what sense does that make? What sense does that make? Well, if you were in the people who worked really hard to get here, if you worked really hard to get to Japan, if you learned the language, and if you went through the whole entire hard, difficult process to be a Japanese citizen, but you really want somebody to figure out a way to get to Japan illegally and then demand citizenship. If you did something the hard way, you wouldn't want somebody to not try at all and get it. It's kind of like, I don't even understand how their brain works. Like, black people are the most racist against other black people. I don't even get them at all.
Well, what I don't get about Mexico, and everybody always giving Trump a hard time about the wall. Mexico has a wall with the southern part of the central part of North America. I mean, the central part of Central America. Obama gave them $100 million to build the fucking thing. So if it's not racist for Mexico to have a wall against, down there, Belize and all that, and if it's not racist for the Mexicans to cut off other indigenous, they're the same people. Mexico, just because you go from Mexico to there doesn't mean that it stopped. Why is it racist for America to want the same fucking thing?
Can you give me a link to that? So I would love to have it as.
Just go. Obama gives Mexico $100 million for a border with Central America. It's like that's been known for years. He did that like the third year he was in office.
Really, I was thinking because I haven't really paid any attention into the news until like 2015. That's the time I really started paying attention to the news because everything just keeps getting crazier and crazier and crazier.
Well, that is a real thing. Like Obama did do that. Like it's not a hidden secret or anything. It's just the American press doesn't want to report on it because then they'll be called a bunch of fucking hypocrites, and that'll tarnish Obama's legacy. Fuck.
It's Obama's wall.
Well,
yeah, it's Obama. It is. It's Obama's wall.
Here's another thing that I remember back during Obama's presidency. I don't know how many people remember this, but his church pastor, the church pastor he says he likes to go to, he was complaining about white people, talking about how white people are terrible, and it's kind of like America.
He called for the death. He called for the death of all white people in America.
We can like, oh, Obama's not going to be racist. Obama's not going to ruin race relations. You know, it's kind of like the idea of social justice back then would have been so stupid and foolish. When really back then, you know, Obama's pretty sure called for the death of white people and called it like America the KKK. And it's kind of like, man, we should have paid more attention to that because, you know, nowadays we see the problem of social justice and how anti-white is. Hey, Magnus, what's going on?
Haven't you damned cavemen learned your lesson about summoning demons?
What? I don't believe in demons. I only summon.
I am a demon.
You're not a demon.
You know this? Yes, I am.
You're one of my favorite demons.
I'm quite literally hell on wheels.
18 of them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Because fuck super singles, they suck.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep. So, what do you think? We were talking about the southern Mexican wall, Magnus. What is your points of view compared to the northern Mexican wall?
Oh, they're actually having a war now. This is news to me. Do continue. I haven't heard about this.
Oh, the Mexican wall. Obama gave them $78 million one crack to build a wall in between Central America and the bottom of like Mexico's southern border to stop illegal immigration into the United States. Okay, so it's okay to put the wall in Mexico, but it's racist to pay for it too. Obama paid for it. American tax dollars paid for that wall that is running now in between Central America and Mexico. But it's racist for Trump to want to do the same thing along the own border of the United States of America. I don't get that.
Okay, so wait a second. You could take a dump on the border between Mexico and South America and block it completely.
Yeah.
Which, that's a very small wall. It doesn't take much. But somehow it's racist and all this shit for Trump to want to employ thousands of people and pay them to build an actual border wall between the United States and Mexico so that the illegal immigrants, which, for those of you not familiar with the term, illegal means it is a crime. They are committing a crime. They are doing something illegal. It is the total opposite of legal.
Well, do you know?
Hold up. So not only is he going to employ all these people and pay them to build this wall, probably even Mexicans too, because you know the Mexicans in Mexico get jobs helping build the wall probably, and they might even get legal immigration into the country for helping build the wall. So what the fuck are we bitching about?
Well, I just seen the map here. No wonder the Mexican southern wall was cheap. They only had to build it in the Guatemalan border. Belize doesn't want to go to Mexico. They are fucking rich.
Yeah, they want Belize is an excellent. Belize is an excellent country, man. Like
it was a former British colony. That must be the reason.
But there is soldiers on every fucking corner down there. You realize I used to go to Belize quite a bit, but you know that's just the way they are, right? Like they have very little policing, but there's a soldier standing on every corner. You start fucking around, they'll shoot you in the head.
Well, shit, they have El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and Mexico close by. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and it's not being racist, people.
See, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to figure this one out. So, is it because South America is populated with brown people, and the brown people want to keep the brown people out? That's why it's not racist, even though the people of South America aren't even technically the same fucking race as Mexicans.
That.
You see, the reason why like I said, is the reason why Obama said he gave them the money was to keep illegal Central American immigration, Central immigration passing through Mexico and getting into the United States. But that's not racist. But building a wall in America is racist.
Or Costa Rica, it's basically Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala that wanted, and some maybe from Venezuela that could cross over. Colombia, not really. British Guiana, of course not. Suriname, which is the Dutch former colony, not too. I don't believe much. The French ones, nope. The French Guiana,
it's Panama. It's Panama, El Salvador, Guatemala, those countries, because they've been war torn. You know, the United States has used them like fucking.
About the ethnic makeup, Colombia has a high proportion of Europeans in their population. Fuck. Between them and Venezuela, you fucking get the most beautiful women on earth.
Oh yeah. Some of those Central American ladies, the ones that don't look like they can make gorilla cookies, they're really not. They're Costa Rica.
There's ugly women everywhere. But
Costa Rica is my favorite place on earth.
Actually, I'm trying to remember. I think I did see something in a documentary of some sort of weird, news show that had absolutely nothing to do with news, where they were discussing how, I believe it was at the time, Argentina had technically the most beautiful women or people in the world.
Okay.
This was back
we end this part on a high note, I think. We could go on to the next point, if you may. The Hamilton play.
Oh, fuck. That pisses me off.
Let's see. Rin, did you see it? Did you know the controversy about the Hamilton play? And Pence going to see it?
Are you talking about the play that Pence went to, and then the cast a lot like he wants Pence to be a vice president for all Americans, and then like Paul Joseph Watson came to Donald Trump made like a tweet about saying that the Hamilton Hotel should be a safe area. Paul Joseph Watson came to Donald Trump's defense, and then like some guy called Owens saying, "Look at all the Republican space."
Yeah.
What are your views on it? What are your views on that? First one is, Rin, what are all your views on the whole thing? Was Pence first disrespected? Was he triggered? Whatever. What are your views?
Well, I think they were trying to call him out. However, I mean...
excuse me.
Huh?
I said, excuse me, I burped.
I didn't think that they were like trying to call him up and put him on the spots. However, what they requested of him to just be a vice president for all people, that request isn't so bad. It's not a terrible request to make. I didn't really see anything wrong with it. However, from what I understand, it's really hypocritical themselves, because the Hamilton play had a status quo for non-white people. certain amounts of white.
Now that I have to.
One at a time.
Magnus, you dropped out.
Oh shit, he dropped.
Yeah.
You, Gunny? What are your views?
See, I didn't like the fact that there was a whole. They were all like that. Wasn't like a spontaneous protest, right? That was a fucking manufactured protest. There was 1,000 people standing out for the theater yelling at Pence, calling him a racist before he went into the thing.
My apologies, folks. I'm in a state that's so technologically backwards. They're still working on telephone technology at this point.
How is Alabama?
No, it's Illinois actually, but.
Oh, okay.
Now here's what I was trying to say before was actually if you watch Satsu 2 Cents did a pretty good video talking about it was called Hamilton versus Trump, and he actually read out what was said. And that Pence was not offended by what they said.
No, he wasn't.
And I'm thinking
he handled it like a class act.
Well, and
he handled it like a class act.
Yeah, he did. And here's the thing: what they said wasn't so egregious. And I think Trump caught wind of it the same way we all did, with the mainstream media making it look like it was this huge kerfuffle when it actually wasn't.
What I didn't like about it, though, Magnus, is that since he's the secretary, or since he's the next VP elect, right? Is everybody knew that he was going to show up at that place, right? And 1,000 protesters out front calling him a racist on the way into the theater. Did you know that part?
So when are they going to actually start having these protesters arrested for destruction of property and all this good shit?
I don't know.
That would be great if that could start happening, because these protesters are violent. They should get arrested. I mean, I don't mind an actual peaceful protest, but these protesters are not peaceful. They're violent.
Well, I'm perfectly okay with a protest until you start beating the shit out of people, burning their property, and acting like a complete fucking idiot. Then I think Trump should just tell them, "All right, boys, shoot to kill."
We're sort of deflecting from what I asked. We're mainly on the Hamilton.
Like I said, the Hamilton, like, it's a private university or a private thing, so they have the right to say whatever the fuck they want. I just think it's a play. Very. Yeah, I know, but they're from a university, right? Like, these kids are from, and like Rin said, is when they put out the call to make this play, there was no play. Whites need not apply.
Yeah,
is that not racist? Is that not?
Yeah, but
racist?
they did have they had whites on the cast though.
Yeah, but they had affirmative actions for all non-white people. You're like, you need to have a certain amount of blacks and a certain amount of women, a certain amount of Latinos. They were trying to do that the way they did BBC. Yeah. You know how the BBC was kind of like, oh, we need a certain amount of blacks.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. But the Hamilton play, okay.
That's what I mean.
Who was it based on? George Hamilton? No, who was the Hamilton one? He was one.
Hamilton. Oh God.
If I'm understanding it correct, I think it's Alexander Hamilton.
And he was?
Yeah, that's right.
He wasn't a president. I know he was a president of the United States.
No, he's a founding father.
Alexander.
Yes, he was. Shit, yes, he was.
Yeah, Alexander Hamilton was the one that got perforated by Aaron Burr.
Yes. Oh God, I apologize for not realizing it now. Yes.
Well, dude, we don't expect you to know American history. You live in Portugal, so
but I do.
I think the play was actually. I think the play was actually on the Hamilton papers.
Yeah.
Those guys, they all like there's the Jefferson papers and those. I think that's what don't quote me, but I think that's what they were on, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Magnus, I do know American history. I know Australian, British, American, South African, Portuguese, Spanish, French, German, Brazil, Argentina. God, I can go on. China.
I bet you don't know Canadian
Japan.
history.
Of course I do. Fuck it, I do. Of course, I even know the War of 1812. Don't tell the Americans, though.
I know. like I keep saying, the last American war won by the United States was the fucking Civil War. Okay.
Yeah. God. But yeah. Okay. Of course, Alexander Hamilton. After he would have absolutely owned slaves. They all did, to an extent. Most of them did anyway. Well, he was still one of the 1% that did. Probably may have. At least he was the voter. Yeah, he owned land, so he was one of the percent, the really minuscule percent that actually voted. The suffragettes wasn't women. When women got the vote, the rest of the men also got the vote. That's what.
But you gotta remember that you had to get the vote up to I think it was like right after the Civil War. Okay, like men weren't allowed to vote either. You had to either be a man of property, or you had to have served in the military. That was the only way. Exactly. That's the only way you got to vote. Like you've never 100 years ago, if you didn't, Carlos, you've never been in the military, right? And if you're a U.S. citizen, you still didn't get a vote, even if you did have a ball sack. You didn't get a vote.
Yeah. I wish I did. Should have done my national service, but I didn't. I was in Australia.
No, I was just using that as an example, right? Like
exactly, yeah.
Like I would have been able to vote because I served, but even if you were an American man, you didn't get to vote because you didn't serve your country and you weren't a man of property. Women of property got to vote.
Yes.
Okay.
I mentioned that. Yes.
But
that should be
I don't understand how all this bullshit comes. That just goes to show you the dynamic of the fucking press. He who controls the written word controls the fucking society.
To be fair about that, Gunny, what the problem is you've got all these feminists and social justice retards running around trying to make out like that somehow all men were landowners and all men did blah blah blah, and it's getting really old.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had conversations with people telling me they are downright fucking frightened because Trump's in office, and it's like, look, motherfucker, I've been around since Carter. Okay, I ain't scared of a fucking president.
No, especially when like him. Trump's not about violence. He never has been. You know what? Mark my words on this date, whatever the fuck it is. I bet you Trump is going to be the greatest president that the United States has had since fucking since, let's say, Lincoln. I'll bet you he will be. He is going to turn the American economy around because he is going to run it like a fucking business, right? He's not going to let China get away with $900 billion fucking slide a year, right?
Well, actually, Gunny, since you're making that bet, I would be more willing to lay money and odds on Trump being more like Kennedy, only without Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah. Oh, yes, believe me, there's a Lee Harvey Oswald out there for Trump. Believe me, there is.
But no.
Well, but these assholes are all talking about it on Twitter.
They forget that he has the best insurance policy ever.
Yeah,
Mike Pence.
You want to see that crazy fucker?
I just read here. I just quickly opened up something. General Robert E. Lee's wife. I know from watching and reading shit. Her name Mary Ann Custis. She was a landowner. Her father was wealthy. He was wealthy. He had fucking money. He married her because of the money. She voted. Okay.
Yeah.
Same with Ulysses S. Grant's wife.
Well,
she was not
woman. The first woman vote cast was in 1790. Like the first, it was 1790 or something like that. Was the first vote cast by a woman in the United States, right? So I don't get this. Women didn't have the vote. Well, these are just fucking men.
It's not the narrative. It's not the narrative. But
yeah.
So, I think we did well. We covered the Hamilton views. My point of view now, Hamilton. the Hamilton spiffy. The actors were rude. They were rude. No other vice president or vice president-elect or whatever has had to endure that shit from fucking snotty-nosed actors.
Wannabe.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Just ask Abraham Lincoln about his last time seeing a play.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. But after him, no.
Welcome to the play, Mr. Lincoln. Are you having fun? Oh shit, duck.
Oh no! I don't stand corrected. No, he was a president. I'm talking about the vice president. I'm still correct.
Exactly.
So, no vice president or vice president-elect has ever had to endure some fucking bullshit. What Paul Joseph Watson or whatever the idiots did. It was an outrage. No, it wasn't. Pence actually handled it well. And then there's the narrative of the SJW. Oh, look, he's been triggered. President Trump triggered because he answered. No, he was probably being the most fucking trollish, sarcastic you can be.
Well, actually, Carlos, I do have to point out one thing, that back in Abraham Lincoln's time, that was the easy way to get your candidate in office, because back then, whoever was running against each other, the one that won became president, and whoever lost became vice president.
Vice president,
absolutely, yes. I know. Well, Lincoln didn't have Mike Pence running, so as a running mate, so I'm sure that
was just.
Okay, did you guys see that 60 Minutes interview with Trump?
No, but I heard
bits of it.
Okay.
Go on, Rin.
Now, just give me 1 second. Did you see what she kept implying to him the whole time of that interview went? Is why don't you quit Twitter? Why don't you quit social media? You know why? Because the fucking media is pissed off that the president of the United States is no longer paying attention to them and going directly to the fucking people. He plans on going and still doing rallies after his presidency. Okay, while he's president.
You know, like before Trump, before when it comes to Obama used to do that. Obama used to keep in contact with, all the social media sites, but I just, began to not do that so much anymore. But Trump, he does a really good job at keeping all of his fans and followers informed. Like, oh yeah, I was gonna talk to the New York Times today, but because the New York Times made some last-minute changes, so I'm not going. It's kind of like Trump keeps all of his followers very informed about what's going on.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Is the media is going fucking crazy because the president is bypassing them. They have nothing to do. I mean, look when he went for his supper by himself. Not even president, just won the fucking election. Took his family out to 21 for a supper, and the press went crazy. They started to see the presidency and Donald Trump is going to be untransparent and all this crap. The guy went to supper.
Well, that's because he wanted to have have the media to fuck off for once. I don't blame him a bit.
Neither do I.
And I can't blame him either.
Hang on a sec. I have to add to that, especially since the media had been up his ass since his campaign began.
That's exactly what I just said, bro.
Do you know what
when Obama won the election, he went out for 3 nights in a row. No press followed him. Was he trying to be, and he was the one that ran on transparent fucking government, right? The most untransparent fucking government in the United States.
I loved the, which was it? I think it was NBC or SCB, or one of them, ABC, that disgraced anchor that is an old cunt that lied somehow.
Brian Williams.
He said he basically implied that God, I laughed. I saw various videos in it that he implied that the presidents are safe because the press are there. Really?
Yeah.
JFK has a word to say on that.
Yeah, really.
Oh God.
I know, like the press are just so full of themselves, right? Because they're a bunch of leftist educated from leftist fucking establishment, $60,000 a year tuition schools, and that's what's been beaten into their fucking brains for the last 100 years.
Well, Gunny, you actually had it perfectly. Gunny, you had it perfectly correct when you said the press were full of themselves, because I've always said the press is shit.
Yeah, that's right.
But not 100 years, I'd say less. When was that trial or that Supreme Court decision that the press can actually lie? Was in the
90s, that came in. No. Okay, that's propaganda. That came back in 2012 when Obama did the NDD or NDAA or whatever the fuck that was. For years, ever since the end of World War I, there's been a law in America that the United States government cannot propagandize its people.
No, I don't mean the government. I mean the press actually lying.
Yes, but Carlos, the NADD or whatever the fuck that was that he signed there, the executive order, specifically took that law out of it. Now the CIA is allowed to propagandize the American people. Do you understand?
But no, that's not what I meant. Yeah. I do, yes, but that's not what I meant. Basically, it was just after CNN and the first Iraq War happened. There were a lot of exaggerations in CNN, apart from also, this is out of my recollections. It's all in my head, so I remember that shit. And there were some untruths told to, obviously, propagandize the war. Right.
They green screened. CNN was green screening fucking supposed reports from fucking Baghdad. Okay,
for example, exactly, and they went to court, and they went up to the Supreme Court, which ruled in favor of actually Fox News. They were also the ones that they wanted to get. That allows them to the media channels allows them to fucking lie. Basically,
well, yes, because they're a corporation, so they're considered they're considered exactly like a human being, and a human being has the right to lie, right? Like they have the right to lie. So they treated the press just like an individual instead of treat them like they're supposed to be the fourth branch of the the fourth estate, America. They're supposed to keep the other three fucking on their toes, right?
If I had enough money, I'd take the corporations to court and I'd have a simple test. If the corporation, and I'm talking about the people, they're not people, the corporation, the actual corporation, if I stab them and it bleeds, then it's a person. If it doesn't, it's not a person. So bring the corporation here. Yeah, bring the corporation to me. I want to cut its finger and then see if it's alive or not.
I want to prosecute corporations, and I want to see who in the corporation goes to jail for the crimes they committed.
Exactly, because they're supposedly like cells, and the cells you can't. But it's easy if the corporation is a human or represents a human or a living being. They have to have blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's the only, because they can breed. They can technically breed. They can technically even die, but they can't technically bleed.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
You need to cut them.
Yeah.
Yep. No worries, man. Yeah. They have to be cut to bleed. I want to see corporation's blood. What color is it?
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's the only one. Yeah, that's the only one.
Yeah. Anyway, do any of you think that the media is going to die? I think that the media is dying. I think because
the mainstream media is absolutely.
Yeah, yes. That's what I'm saying. Media, because like I saw somewhere, I think it was NBC poll that says that like 95% of Americans trust Donald Trump over the mainstream media, and it's kind of like it's kind of like the mainstream, the people's trust and the media has sank to like an all-time like record low. That's I think that's perhaps CNN would probably die. CNN is kind of like, if people can't trust you, and if you can lie to people, then what's the point of watching you if people watch you to be informed? However, there are people who will watch for a confirmation bias, but even for the confirmation bias, there are alternative media that is a lot more entertaining. I mean, the Young Turks is a lot more entertaining than CNN, if you want a confirmation.
Well, the problem is the news is falling completely prey to the whole idea of sensationalism, just to try to get more people to watch. The only problem is that's exactly what's got them bent over the barrel with their pants around their ankles, because people are seeing this and they're getting sick of it. Namely me. I don't watch the fucking news because I know they're gonna exacerbate and exaggerate. It's one thing to have your own opinion on the story in question. It's another matter entirely for that to be the whole story, is your fucking opinion.
Yeah, exactly. There's a sort of it's almost an anecdotal evidence. Not long ago, this is not even decades, the paparazzi were kings. They would be paid by 18 gold for exclusive photographs. And I saw on the local news that I think there's only one or two that are left. And for every photograph he brings in, it's a pittance of what he was earning. Why? Because the common folk, us plebs, have mobile phones that take pictures, and we're fucking everywhere. Everyone recognizes celebrities and sports people, and they said, "Oh shit, look at Cristiano Ronaldo. He's with the new girl." Click. Post to Facebook. Post to whatever, and then the media said, "Look, free shit."
Well, and that's what makes it even funnier is the paparazzi used to actually have to carry around the camera equipment. Now every dipshit walking around has one in their pocket.
Exactly, yeah. So, yes, exactly. That's what's happening to the media. They are fucking losing touch. Firstly, they're trying to push
irrelevant.
Yeah, they're irrelevant.
Okay, like I won't have an NSA tracker in my pocket because I've seen how we used to nuke people with them in their thing out in the Middle East.
I can send them over to me. I'm fine with that. Fuck it. But that brings me to another point. Yesterday I read a New York Times article and another one that apparently Trump called in high-ranking and high-level news people. I know Wolf Blitzer was in there. I can't say his name. Sorry, I apologize.
No, you had it right.
The manager or the general manager or the CEO of CNN and a few others, and he fucking what escaped because it's confidential, but anonymous sources say what escaped was Trump fucking absolutely chewed the shit out of them for the bullshit narrative that they were pushing, because I know for the fact that for whatever, I don't like Trump, but I've been following him closely, everything. He has never said any homophobic declarations. He has never said any bigoted declarations, etc. See what I mean?
So what is your problem with Trump?
Fuck, no.
What do you hate about him? What do you hate about him?
Actually, Carlos, if you don't mind, I'd like to field this one because I think it's the easiest answer, but it's hard to think of. What it is with Trump, you either like him or you fucking hate him. There's no in between. That's just the kind of guy he is.
But I like him as a businessman. I just don't like him as being president of the United States. That's all.
Why?
Fair enough.
Look at the last one we had.
No. Don't get me wrong. I don't like him because he has, for a start, I don't like him because he chose the worst possible insurance policy you can get. Fucking Mike Pence. some fucking left-wing cunt will try and kill him or shit, and then you guys have Mike Pence, and he could.
There's no way the left is going to shoot at Donald Trump with Mike Pence waiting in the wings. This could be semantics, because I know over
No.
Wait.
Let me finish. Like the assassination of the attempted assassination of
Reagan.
Reagan. It was a fucking leftist cunt that was mad. No. And they are the lone wolf cunts that can fucking do shit. Now, he has to appoint the Republican Party as it is at the moment. It's too extreme to the right for my taste, and he will appoint some of them. I don't mind the general he chose as the Defense Department. I know he's a general. He will be fucking awesome. I don't mind his Attorney General. Established law of the land as much as possible. That's good. But there are other cabinet positions which he will have to fill, and
Can I point out something I saw earlier today? Trump did actually, from what I understand, appoint Sheriff David Clark as our Secretary of Homeland Security or something like that.
Oh, maybe DHS.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well. They are fucking law. That's establishing the law of the land. You have to maintain law and order. That is perfect. Yes, but
you got to realize too, Carlos, that when Obama took over, it took him 8 weeks to make his first appointment.
Oh no,
I'm fine.
Okay.
And you realize that case that he had about his university or whatever that he was getting sued over?
Yeah,
He paid $25 million out of his own pocket. He said, he went on Twitter and he said, I could win this case, but I need to govern. And he paid $25 million yesterday to squash that case so he could be the president of the United States.
Yes, I know.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
You might not believe it, but I do understand the American system. It's hard. I know. Well,
No. I'm just pointing that out. Like any guy that's already won the presidency of the United States, and he pays $25 million out of his own pocket to squash a case. What would Hillary Clinton have done if she had that exact same thing? And she would have had him.
She would have had a drone strike called on him. That's what she would have done.
Exactly. There would have been no. Yeah, Trump just here's $25 million. Make it go away.
Yeah, I've always said Trump is a Democrat. He's not as extreme, but he will probably I don't want Carson anywhere near the cabinet, for example. That fucking cunt can't. Jesus, no.
Oh, he can be Secretary General of the Medicine or whatever the hell they call that. What do they call that?
Surgeon General or something?
Surgeon General.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But nothing. I know that they've been for the Secretary of State. Romney has been.
Romney and Giuliani
Giuliani.
Never.
I would like. Yeah. I would like.
He'll never get.
Honestly.
I don't know. Romney's
what do you guys think?
Romney's just as religious as fucking Carson is.
But Secretary of State, you don't mix religion. You have to fucking run shit. Run with the Secretary of State is basically a foreign minister. You have to go to countries and negotiate and shit. You don't bring religion.
No.
That's why it's safe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And religion, religion will not play any part in, because you guys have separation of state and church, and it's I don't know what amendment is. It's one of the first ones. So
no, it's not. It's the I think it's the 14th Amendment actually.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah,
but it was an amendment to the Constitution. It wasn't in the original.
But it's still in the Bill of Rights, though. It's still there in the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, but but still, religion. I mean, depending on what religion, what your church calls for, it would still gets inside your head, because I know that's when Obama was president. Many people in the closet atheist, but I don't think he was in the closet atheist, because again, he went to a church where his preacher called for the death of white people. His preacher, all he did was bash white people and bash America. Now what do we see today? We now see, people bashing white people, social justice warrior, bashing white people, bashing America, when before Obama was elected, and we have to sit in there. Adults, in 2008, it's like, oh, come now, this is unrealistic, this is stupid, this is fear-mongering, it would never happen. It's kind of people can't suspense. So what if his preacher called for the death of, white people? So what? It's not going to affect anything. And today, we're fighting social justice warriors who do believe in these things.
That's right. And like I say, I don't think religion should have anything to do with politics. Nothing. Not a fucking thing.
I think that fear mongering is really becoming a problem because, like I said, I have had arguments so far with a couple of people who are just totally fucking convinced that Trump is out to kill black people, gay people, and every other people that's not white. I mean, they're absolutely fucking convinced of this shit.
I've lost friends of 30 years over this fucking election. Okay? Truly, I have. That swore they'd never speak to me again. And I've known these people for 30 fucking years. This is what weirds me out.
Well, that's when you look at them dead in the face and say, well, see you later.
I did. It's exactly what I fucking told them.
It's weird because where I'm from, the states I'm from, everything is still normal because, like, my mother voted for Hillary Clinton. I voted for Trump. I told my mother I voted for Trump. We did have a little debates over it. It was a civil, friendly debate. And when Trump won, everything was still good.
Oh, what?
It was wonderful.
Well,
didn't she threaten to kick you out of the house like that?
Yeah, that was sick, man.
God. Yeah, I'm laughing, but I'd
punch her in the face. Carlos,
I'd put her in jail.
I want to ask you a question. Did America have a better reputation, je ne sais quoi, over in Europe in the Bush years or in the Obama years? Which era did America have more influence in Europe in? Would you say?
God, I've lived through both. I'm really trying to think here.
If I had to take a wild guess just off the top of my head, I would say the Bush years.
The Bush years, because of the wars in the Middle East, sort of tarnished the American.
Obama started 3 more wars in the Middle East.
But like I was getting to there, I would say, I'll tell you, our media here follows the narrative of the left to a lot of all the countries there. So, but of the people I've talked to, would say the non Ukraine sort of the people think, oh look, it was a bit soft. Why did it's a bit complicated. They understood that we accepted of Portugal. I'm talking about Portugal. They accepted getting rid of Gaddafi. He was a terrorist and all that shit and all that bullshit. The Tunisia, even though the Tunisia.
Now, Gunny, actually, now that Carlos is bringing it up, and you brought it up, I'm actually thinking I don't remember the media being nowhere near up Obama's ass as they were with Bush over starting these wars. It seemed like they were all over Bush about it, and you didn't really hear that much about it with Obama.
Well, every time fucking Bush dropped a bomb, there was 10 reporters asking about it. Obama's a drone striking entire villages, and nobody even talks to him about
it. We knew about that. We sort of said shit. Yeah. Look at him, Obama, the record breaker of the drone strikes. We knew about that, and we said, But here in Portugal, we were more worried when our next pay packet, etc., came from, because than worrying about that. I can't speak of the rest of Europe. even though I do follow the British news, the British, of course.
Well, I was asking you personally, Carlos, not what your news is saying, not
me.
what. Yeah, you yourself. Which America did you have more respect for? George Bush's America or Obama's America?
Neither, actually. To tell you the truth, neither.
No, but if you had to pick one, if I put a fucking gun to your head and I said, choose Bush or Obama, which one?
You'd have to shoot me. Neither, none of. I hated Bush for the wars he started, and I hated Obama for the drone strikes, the
wars he started.
Wars he started, yes, and basically towards the end, I even hated him. I liked him at the first 6 months, maybe Obama 6 months of his term, but. When he started in the first term, before the midterm elections, when he didn't push through his not agenda, his policies, which he had fucking control of Congress, like the Republicans have now. As soon as he did that, I lost respect for him. I said, "Fuck, what the fuck."
Well, Congress is important to have, but Senate is more important because Congress votes on a bill and then it goes to Senate and it's got to pass
but he
the
had
Senate.
the Senate and the upper house.
That. That's what I mean. I couldn't understand. Yeah, I couldn't understand that either. Like they started hacking on people about hacking on the Republican Congress about immigration. I mean, Obama had total control. He did whatever he fucking wanted to with immigration. He did nothing.
He caved in when a few of the Tea Party peaceful protest. There was no burning, no anything. They were just marching in the street with flags. He caved in. The fuck?
Tea Party just realized that when we burn our cities down, our insurance rates goes up and we don't have stores. That
shit. I at that point I didn't like the I didn't like the right at all. I don't like it.
Sorry, not riding. I meant undocumented shopping.
No, I mean okay. Not writing. I didn't like the right, the Tea Party. I didn't like the Tea Party or the Republicans. I was at that point. I was more. I was still centre left, but I was left. Then now I've still continued to be centre left, except I've awoken to the bullshit of the narratives of the left, more extreme, and of some of the incompetencies of the right.
But I see Trump as this, as he looks at the world the same way I do. I don't care if you want to fuck a horse in your house. I really don't care, right? As long as kids aren't getting hurt, that's fine, right?
That's not a very nice thing.
Don't expect me to pay for it.
Well, now, Gunny,
right?
Talking about fucking a horse in your house, that's not a very nice thing to say about somebody else's wife.
Oh, I know, but you realize that it's still illegal. It's still legal in 27 of the states, right?
That doesn't surprise me a bit.
I mean, like he's physically responsible, but he's socially liberal. If that's not a centrist, I don't know what the fuck is.
I'm a centrist.
Hello. Well, that's what I mean. So is he. He's bigger than life. So what?
Yeah, exactly.
So is Teddy Roosevelt.
Well, he's not centrist. He's not centrist compared to what, say, Portugal is. He's shit.
Well, yeah.
Obama's fucking more right than our most right party at the moment.
Well, I know. That's why we're trying to distance ourselves from Europe, right? Because Europe is burning.
Oh, well,
so we're heading right.
We're heading right. Europe. Okay, I think we've covered this. I think we've covered this. Everything. You guys want to just talk about slightly the two earthquakes that happened in the Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
Well, I do know of it, but I don't really have much to say on it. But I do know that there's like an earthquake in Fukushima, Japan.
Yeah. The Fukushima, Japan. And guess what? All the generators went down. That's pumping the water into them again. That happened the minute. That I was watching it live on Japanese news, okay?
Yeah.
And they said all the power plants that went out that's circulating the pumps that fucking caused the thing to blow up last time. Okay, so that was there. And I fell asleep, but they were waiting for a 9-meter or 9-foot wave to hit the beaches or whatever. I don't know if it did or not, but yeah, I don't know how much about this Kiwi one, though, because they wanted to evacuate the whole of the north of...
it was in the South Island, though. It was Auckland.
Yeah, okay, but they wanted to...
Wellington, Auckland.
Yeah, because geoengineers said there was something wrong with the structure underneath a huge part of the landmass of...
The earthquake caused a rise in the landmass. 2-meter rise.
The seabed, 2 meters. Yeah, I seen that, man.
Yeah. And there was because it was basically not to the day, but very close to the one they had last time, which they had 187 deaths or more than 170 deaths. This time they had many less, much less deaths. Shit. It was in my last stream, which I had with Tim Blake. He said the numbers. It was very few. I think 2 or 3. It was absolutely
significant death toll. Nothing. Yeah. That many would have died crossing. That many would have died crossing the street that day, right?
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. I really felt both that and the Fukushima.
I'm hoping for a big one I'm hoping for a big one right off the coast of California.
Yeah, that's overdue. Yeah. So, okay, we've covered that now. There are 2 things which I would like to talk on. We can discuss them. This is a sort of hypothesis which I've been playing around with. There's looks like a concentration of media outlets, both from the left and the right, which seem to be trying to weaken the Western
value system,
Western society and value system. AJ Plus and Russian Times, which they are right-wing. Al Jazeera Plus is, by definition, Muslim right-wing. Then you have on the left Vice, MTV, Vox, Salon, all those cancerous shit. And if you can notice that, I've noticed that all their narrative is to basically normalize what SJW madness is. That small fucking minority. Yeah.
That's why I watch Alex Jones, because he does instill family values. Believe it or not, he may be a conspiracy theory, but you know what? Right now, he has more viewers than MSNBC, CBS, ABC, CNN, and NBC combined. You know why? Because he's telling people the actual fucking truth. That's the difference. He's went up. He's 165. He's ranked 165 on the YouTube. He's 165, and the closest one to him was CNN, and they were something like 4,000 and something. Alex Jones' page is right now he's the 165th most fucking searched platform on YouTube.
I don't like InfoWars or TYT to the same measure. They are both extremes of the same.
Yeah, exactly. But
problem.
But TYT says you can fuck a goat in the middle of Main Street while beating a kid and a wife as long as you're not a white man. But Alex Jones says, I don't care what fucking color you are. You act like a human being, or you get fucking slapped upside the head.
Yeah. But I do think that the left is dying to some extent. I mean, Donald Trump, he did win the popular votes in So I mean, I think that's some type of progress because, and I do think that the anti-feminist community helps. Like the more the anti-feminist communities we take on their arguments, the way that people who are probably on the fence, the people who are open to change their mind, they look and they see that we have a better argument in the other side. I mean, even from my experience talking to a Hillary Clinton supporter, I was the one the evidence, and was talking to Hillary Clinton. They had no evidence at all, no links, no videos.
No, they have belief. They have belief, friend. They have belief, right? And I told this to the suit the other night. We were talking about some fucking thing, and he said he believed in this, and it was some sort of controversial subject. And I said, "Listen, man, a belief is the most dangerous fucking thing on earth. Knowing something is cool. Believing in something is fucking dangerous, man. It just is."
It depends on exactly what you believe in, but yeah, you're right, Gunny.
Yeah, it reminds me of this psychology experiments where they try to see if they could get people to kill another people, though nobody actually died. And they found that they could get 2/3 of the people to kill another human being, or at least believe that they actually did. Have you heard of that?
Yes, you can hear him. No worries. Continue. I'm just listening. I've talked a bit now. You guys can.
You're not. You're slamming the rest of that whiskey back. I can tell.
Actually, no. I finished my beer. I haven't drunk since a little while back, so I'm just chilling.
Oh! You're not drinking whiskey tonight?
No, I do. I have some Valentine's, but it's almost there.
Oh, I think you can pour
That's
that.
fuck
That's there, man. I think you can pour that in your truck and run that in your truck, Magnus.
No, it's I've drank worse, and this is not too bad. I don't drink swill. Sorry.
Yeah. Swill. Ripple. You're not into Ripple, eh?
No. So
that's an old one. That's showing my age there.
So you guys think that they are? Of course, I know. InfoWars. I don't like extremes. You guys know me. I don't like extremes. I like balanced, factual news. And because of many, not just in the United States, many countries in the West have been lax in the journalists telling the quote unquote truth, factual truth, employing fucking basic interns to write up the.
Anyway,
news.
Well, Gunny, for some reason my microphone working when you were talking about the booze, and it's like, look, man, I don't drink, but I've hauled enough booze to keep the entire state of Israel gassed for 100 years.
Come on, let's not become anti-Semitic. I'm honorary Zionist.
Gas is an old school word for being drunk.
Drunk, yeah.
I know that.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yeah. Well,
he wasn't mandating gas.
But that's you guys made me miss my point. Well, you missed my point that it's because of the relaxation of the truth in journalism and fucking hiring interns, people who fucking can't spell or make sentences correctly. That's the problem with these.
Well, I don't know. I think it's more of it's a lot more of an ethical issue than it is an actual let's say training. Okay, you go to college to get trained to become a journalist, right? And I think the journalism professors in the United States, well, in North America, Canada, and the United States, they are so far left that if you don't agree with Bill Ayers, you're a fucking Nazi, right? And they go through journalism school with that fucking attitude, and they get out there and they have no ethics about the truth, no ethics whatsoever. As long as we can bash our what we perceive as our opponent, which there isn't supposed to be one in news, right? If you're reporting news, you don't have an opponent. You're just trying to point out facts. But now all these kids have came up. Well, not kids. They're not kids. They're my age now. Have come up through that school system, and they're in the positions of power in the media, and this is their fucking ethics. Bash the fucking right to death, and it's a shame. It is a shame, but it's just the way it is. And until we can turn our universities around, like this is what we got to understand. Until we can turn our universities around, fuck all is going to change in this country. Nothing.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the universities, they're specifically targeting white men. If I was a white man, for me, I would boycott universities like that. It's just like if you're a university and all you do is bash white men. If I was a white man, I would never ever go to a university like that. I would try to transfer another.
Ren, I look at it this way. I look at it this way. I don't believe that they're targeting white men. I believe that they're targeting fucking young, impressionable minds to teach them to hate white men. Okay? They are targeting the fucking actual, the students. They're not targeting, I'm a white man. They're not targeting me. They can't do fuck all to me, right? Like, there's nothing they can do to me. But they are targeting the minds of these young kids. And they're teaching them a fucking dogmatic way to look at the world. And that's where their worldview comes from.
Yeah, okay, but when I was like listening to Christina Hoff Sommers, she was talking about how there's like a certain quota of like men that needs to be in like colleges, because if there's like no guys at all at the colleges, then girls wouldn't want to go there. You know, like
I heard that one too. But what a lot of white guys have, men in general, okay, what we've learned is we've watched the way the school system has went in the secondary education, stuff like that. How much? Okay, this is an example. My sister-in-law, she went to school. She was making $12 an hour when she started to go to become a computer programmer, right? So she spent I think it was 2 years or whatever the fuck it was. Cost her. She took out a $25,000 loan, and by the time she was done paying it off back to the government-funded loan, it cost her $57,000. And when she got out after that 2 years, she didn't get a job in computer programming, and she was still working for $12 an hour. Okay, now you can go to a trade school and become an electrician, and you can be making $75,000 to $120,000 a year, and you're talking about a $8,000 school bill. You see the difference? So a lot of guys bummed hep onto that, and they said, "Fuck this, I ain't going." Did you see that guy in Harvard? Okay, he went to Harvard Law School, passed, practiced for 2 years, realized he was a shitty fucking lawyer, and he sued Harvard for producing a shitty fucking lawyer. And he won. Like, how stupid is that?
He wouldn't have won here.
Oh, I know, but he did over here.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, that's what I mean, is you get into, like, I'm looking at myself the last 2 or 3 years, I'm looking at, like, universities and especially private universities, right? Like, a private university is nothing but a cult nowadays.
Well, I apologize for dragging you guys through this ideological and technological shithole, but bear with me. Gunny, what I was wanting to say before when you were talking about the ethics is, yeah, they're cramming this stuff into these soft-headed fucking college students. Back in my time, I was raised to disagree with your political opinion, but still respect you as a human.
Exactly.
And I don't know where the fuck we lost that.
We lost it when all these fucking liberal, when all the people that ran away to Canada from the Vietnam War and all those peace-loving hippie got their PhDs and started teaching in the colleges. That's where it came from.
You know, a part of me wonders if Sargon of Akkad is correct when he says that he thinks that the governments or our colleges are making people stupid on purpose.
They are.
They are.
Henry Ford said when he set up the Ford Foundation that his total thing was to produce a population just smart enough to read the handles on the fucking machines. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking
it was Henry Ford and the Rockefellers Foundation that started public education in this country, and it's to make productive little serfs. It's not to make thinkers. You know, it's not. It's to make you pull that lever at the right time, stand there, blah 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 blah. Never question the guy above you.
Yeah, they're trying to make people stupid on purpose. I totally agree with that sentiment.
Well, it's true. I mean, fuck. I went to
I do think that the anti-feminist community is making a good pushback, though, because, I mean, look at how many followers and likes Sargon has. Compare that to Francesca Ramsey. I mean, most of Francesca Ramsey's videos have massive downvotes on them.
Well, you know her shows in the shitter when they actually have to purposely make a video about, well, people keep asking, why are you so racist? The first words out of her mouth of that question is, we're not. And it's like, no, asshole, people would not call you on it if you weren't.
Well, you're being racist for pointing out how racist she is. How racist of you.
Well,
I think I would pit Francesca Ramsey in a close competition with my great-grandfather's brother for being racist.
What you guys just finished talking sort of brings us on to our next topic.
Sweet.
Yeah, saw a video from Andy Warski, and I also then went to look at some articles and shit. Hampshire College of Massachusetts, United States, has banned, after pressure from the fucking SJWs, have banned the United States flag on its premises.
Yeah.
What?
I watched it. Yes, I watched this on.
That's crazy. It was on. Like, I was shocked as well. I was like, "What? You gotta be kidding me!"
Okay,
well, I know with Sean Hannity.
Yeah, I know for a fact that in the United States, you can burn the United States flag. It's protected under the First Amendment. Even I can't remember the actual law case, but it's
freedom of speech issue.
Yeah, exactly. But they actually, if Andy Warski is correct, and I sort of think he is because I saw that the articles, they when the elections results came out, they had it in half mask as a thing of mourning. Now, I'll give you my perspective of Portuguese law. First of all, if you are a public institution, you cannot. You have no say in the flags. You actually have to put flags up. We have 3 that we have to display. First one is the Portuguese flag, then the European Union flag, and the third one, council or local political entity like the council or the. We have that even lower than the council. You can have those.
Man.
Right? They are by law. You have to put them up. You could put just the Portuguese flag, or the Portuguese and the European Union flag, or the Portuguese and the council flag. But 2 of them. The Portuguese flag has to go up. That is.
It doesn't here, and this is the private institution that's doing this, right? I watched.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a private.
Does it receive public? But does it receive?
No, it doesn't. This is their point. Because I watched the interview with the guy that started this with Sean Hannity, so you know what kind of interview that's going to be. And
yes, exactly.
And like he said, it instills a culture of fear. Fear and I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but anyway, it's racist is what it came down to. It's fear and racism again. And like they said, well, what's his name? Hannity called him out and says, if you guys were all into the stuff like this, you get your ass handed to you in about 2 seconds, and that'd be it. Your little stick. And he says, what do you guys expect to get out of it? And he goes like this: I'm on your show, ain't I? That's what his fucking answer to that question was. Like, I'm on your show, ain't I? Like, what?
Well, that just goes to show they're doing it for the narcissism. They're not doing it for anything else.
Private companies also have rules that they have to apply if they.
Yeah, but not flag rules. Not over here. If you run an American flag here. If you run an American flag here, and like the American flag always has to be on top. Always has to be on top. Exactly. That's $1,000. That's $1,000 fine in a year in jail, or could be, right?
Exactly. Here, if you're a private company and you choose to up and run the flags, like we have here in my area, a kennel which has 3 flags which I mentioned, Portuguese, the European Union, and the local council, or the local not parish. What's similar to council, but below? God,
district.
It's not even that. It's
District.
small. It's just a
County.
shire. The closest I can think of as is Shire Council.
Yeah, that's a county over here. We'd consider that a county.
Okay,
right?
a county.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and they have to, if they put the flagpoles up, they have to display those flags. They can't put them at half-mast for what they choose. They have to receive instructions by the news or whatever. If a prominent figure dies, they can choose it, or etc. If it's a local entity, a local prominent person, they have to also half-mast it, but not for protests at all. No way. That just doesn't work.
Well, they're not protesting. They're not protesting. It's a private institution, and they're not. They decided not to have the United States flag on their property. That's power to them. That's freedom of speech. That's freedom of expression.
Exactly.
Power
yes,
to.
Absolutely. Yes.
Power
but
to.
They also,
It's a huge fucking sign of disrespect, and
exactly. Now they can never apply again if they can't apply. They shouldn't apply for any federal loans or whatever. Federal funding, federal or even state or local, they should not be available for them. They have to cut down the flagpoles everywhere. They can never again post a flag up. That's what would happen here. They do that shit here. They can't have it. If a flag is a sign of your country, if you say that the United States flag, the one that fucking freed the fucking slaves, is a racist thing, then what the fuck is?
Yeah, I know what you're getting. I know what you're getting at. Like, you know,
it makes me
like. I want to see you like everybody says. Go down to Mexico, stand in front of their fucking government buildings, and burn a Mexican flag. See what fucking happens to your ass.
Now, Gunny, I feel like I need to point out that these assholes can only get away with this shit, until sometime in January when Trump actually takes office. I think they're trying to pull it. I think they're trying to pull as much shit as they can.
Yeah, but we got to watch that sort of talk about when it comes to Trump taking office, man, because that will set America on fire. Okay?
Exactly.
That really will. Like, I'm a Trump supporter, but I say leave them the fuck alone. Let them rant. They're making every time one of them speaks, it brings their whole argument. Yeah, it just brings their whole fucking argument down by their own fucking tongue.
How do you think that countries get rid of right-wingers? They let them speak.
Exactly. And the burning and the looting, stop that shit right away. Like, go in there with a hammer and fucking hammer on them. But let them scream on TV, let them rant, let them do whatever, man. But the last thing we need to do is start fucking saying, you just wait till January.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fucking dangerous slope, man.
Well, no, actually, yes. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying I think the reason why they're doing all this shit now is because they feel like they can get away with it while Obama's still sitting warm in his chair for him,
I know.
Like,
I don't know. Has Obama did anything since the election's been announced?
No, he's actually just visited Europe, and he's done something that no other president, which I have recollection of, has done. Criticize
their own country the incoming president from another country. Like, wow. See, you got to remember that
that's his legacy.
They're grooming him to be the Secretary General of the UN, right?
Oh no! He'll never fucking beat our Portuguese cunt that's in there.
Oh yeah, but
it's 5 years from now. The new Secretary General is Portuguese. He's getting in this January, and he has until 2025 years, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, to 2022. So no
accidents happen.
No, because no. I think. Obama. I can almost look that he will be appointed as a High Court judge, not a Supreme Court.
No way,
by
not
Trump. I could bet $5. That's all I bet. I don't bet more than that.
Yeah, but what you got to. Obama's not going to have anything to do with the fucking government of the United States because there's no way he's going to be able to get confirmed for fucking dog catcher.
No, but he will. I bet you he will. Trump will nominate him, and he'll.
He hasn't even got. Carlos, he hasn't even got a law license anymore. He had to turn it in. He's not a lawyer anymore. God, can't be a judge if you're not a fucking lawyer.
You don't. Jesus, it doesn't work that way. They can fucking give you that shit.
Well, he can get his law license back when he goes to. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. But in America, if you're under charges of extortion and you hand your license in voluntarily, you're no longer a lawyer. You're not a member of the bar. You can't be a judge.
I don't know that. I won't comment on that. I absolutely am in the fucking black hole blanks of that. I won't comment. I don't know. And
you have to be a member of the bar, and you have to be a member of the bar in good standing to be a judge.
Yes, I know.
And Obama's not.
I'm not commenting. I don't know. So you don't have to say. I will look up. I'll look it up. So yeah. But that's more or less. We finished that. On that part, we said that the Hamilton College, what Portugal done. Now, the safety pins. Safe space safety pins.
Oh my God! I've never seen so fucking stupid and funny in my life.
Rin, if you're there, please. Us men have talked enough. Now, you have, please. What's your view on the safety pin safe spaces, or bodily safe spaces? Please tell us.
I just thought it was really weird. A safety. Keep them safe. Is that what they were thinking? I never really. I don't get their logic. It's all true. Or was this supposed to be like a symbol or something?
Yeah, it's a symbol.
It's a symbol for safety pin. It's called a safety pin, a safe space. You put it on your nappies.
You're supposed to be able to go. Yeah, if you see somebody wearing undercollar, it means it's okay to give them a hug.
Oh, if you see somebody wearing, give them a hug. I mean, I'm not gonna hug a don't know you. I never heard you. And now I finally understand Goodfellas. Goodfellas joke on Twitter because he made a really creepy face and he was holding to the safety pins and he was like, "Ladies, do you trust me?" It's like I know. It's supposed to be like if that person is safe. It's like no. If a person has a safety pin, that doesn't automatically make them. Reminds me of back in the day, how back when America was religious, how people believe that if you meet a person from a Christian website, they're automatically saved. You could automatically trust them. So what this predator did is he joined a Christian website and then he raped and murdered some people there.
I look at the safety pin as the same way that the Bloods and the Crips carry around the orange or the red and blue rags. Same fucking thing, different gang.
They are culturally appropriating British institution, punk rock. And Nancy and they wore safety pins.
Who killed Nancy?
You know what? I have to get this off my chest before my head explodes. But this is just more fucking proof that these fucking assholes are the purest of evil. Because their virtue signaling has just gone off the fucking charts. These are the assholes that are pure evil, wearing the mask of, oh, we're all love and compassion. But no, they're purest fucking evil. Just look at how if you can treat anybody the way they treat Republicans, conservatives, or white people in general, That's not love and compassion. That's pure goddamn evil.
Yeah, the hatred for whites.
But you're a white fucking male.
Yeah, the hatred for whites men is real. I mean, when I was talking to Hillary supporters, you can really tell that they hate white men a lot and white people in general. And here's wait a minute. Here's the most interesting parts. They're all whites. Like I'm pretty sure you guys know. Like there wasn't any black people there, and it's kind of like, man, I am so disappointed on how like racist the white race has become. It's kind of like all these people voted for Trump and made him president. My confidence in the white race has gone down. It's just white people like just going on and on and on about how horrible white people are and how they don't trust white people and how
exactly
are.
Like you got to remember the same white people that elected Donald Trump elected fucking Obama twice.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, I also voted for Obama.
And we shouldn't use white people. Guys, we shouldn't use white people. We should European descent.
No, I'll say white people. Thank you very much.
No. It's not the incorrect term. It just confuses the fuck out of the SJWs.
Oh,
sure.
So what?
Yeah.
Fine, confuses them.
Exactly. If you say, "Oh, I'm not white, I'm European," their brain will just explode because they don't have the concept of what a European is. A European can be from Portugal to Finland to the Urals, basically. They're going to tell me. I saw a lovely tweet today. Wife of someone, I can't remember his name. She was a Tatar, and they said she's not white or Muslim. Fuck, she's white. Of course, she's fucking white. The Tatars were white.
That's what I was going to say. Weren't they fucking white people? Like what?
They were white. They were, and that tweet just sort of what? No, they were white.
I gave up.
Afghans from let's see. I'm trying to the close to the northern borders of Afghanistan.
Yep.
Not where Pakistan is, more towards the Turkmenistan areas.
Yeah.
They are fucking white.
Kazakhstan, places like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you really, that's why I always use European descent, because fucking mine say European, but
Carlos, you're talking about the same assholes that think Islam is a race.
Race, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yes, I am, Magnus, exactly. And they don't bring that back to the democracy and shit that they want to establish. It's shit. Honestly, many Anglo-Saxon countries really need a dictatorship. I honestly think you guys do. It'll be good for you. A generation or two of a brutal dictatorship. It'll clean out the shit element of the society. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's bad, but fuck, we passed through it. We survived.
Yeah.
It's called The Purge. I think they've been making movies about this.
And the SJWs and all that shit, for example, Trudeau and company in Canada, he thinks that by establishing the laws that sort of restrict everything, and the SJWs, which are so fine, they think it doesn't apply to them. But ultimately, it will. More than to the normal people, because normal people, the ones that will adapt faster and will stop using certain things, and then when those idiots start and being charged with the actual laws that they promoted, it'll be fucking Schadenfreude or whatever that fucking word is in German.
Oh well, like I said, I'll just be glad. I'll be glad when the Western world gets back to using the right meanings. When you use a word, it actually means that. It doesn't mean 17 other things. You know?
Oh, like racism equals prejudice plus power. Therefore, Black people can't be racist. However, the social justice warrior, Socrates says, well, I agree with social justice entirely, except I disagree with Black people can't be racist. Black people are against other Black people, and Latinos are the most racist against the other Latinos. And it's kind of like, it's kind of like when a Mexican wants to get rid of another Mexican. I mean, like when a Mexican who is here legally are angry at a Mexican who is here illegally, that they are being racist against other Mexicans, even though there's only one race, that's the human race, and Mexico is not a race, it's the nationality.
Yeah, really, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. Is Mexico is not a race; it's a country.
Exactly. Latinos hate each other because
it's a race.
Cubans hate Haitians and Puerto Ricans
because I keep missing out on all the good stuff.
Yeah, and so on. Anyway, okay, guys. I think we've. If anyone wants to add anything else.
You're fucking a white male!
No, thank you. I am not fucking a white male, but I will fuck a white female.
Who killed Nancy?
Anyway, okay. You guys know my normal ending thing. Shill your stuff. Who wants to start?
Don't sub me. I'll talk to you later.
Rin.
On my channel, I've interviewed wonderful, amazing people. I hope you go and check out all the people I've interviewed. I've interviewed Bering. I've interviewed That's Guy T. I've interviewed so many amazing people on my channel. Please check it out, and it's all in a playlist. So it's kind of like if you don't want to go through all of the videos I've uploaded, just check the playlist that I interviewed. Please check it out.
I will put all your channels into the description, except for Gunny.
Yeah, skip it. Anyway, Carlos, thanks for having me, man.
Oh no, what is it? Did Magnus leave? Oh, he was there. Magnus,
no, I'm here.
Your turn.
Well, right now Magnus Hangouts is on hiatus, but when I come back, just look me up on YouTube. I'm Magnus Deacon, on Twitter at Magnus Deacon, and now I'm also on Gab.ai, so look for me as Magnus Deacon on there too.
Oh, one thing I would say, Carlos, is I'm on minds.com now at EVILGUNNEY.
Exactly. I will put all the descriptions, not tonight because I'm a bit drunk and.
No, don't worry about it. I'm just shouting out because I see some of my my Twitter followers were in the chat as well.
Yeah, I'm on Minds as well.
Hello, chat.
Yeah, I'm on Minds as well. So absolutely yes. Okay, guys. It was a wonderful chat. I am absolutely honored. Honestly, I'm honored having you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on. And catch you guys around the next time.
Yep.
Right.
Later on, Carlos.